lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Siffle. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
I grew up hearing that women are bad with money. But like many of you, I spent years paying bills, managing checking accounts, and taking care of my family. So turns out women are pretty good with money after all. And now I'm taking control of my financial future by saving for retirement. It's never too late to start, and there's a great website to help you. Check out WeSaySaveIt.org and jumpstart your retirement savings on your budget and your timeline. That's WeSaySaveIt.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is Big Red Birdies with Nebraska golfers Lindsey Teal and Megan Whitaker on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Big Red Birdies here on 93.7 The Ticket. This is Lindsey Teal here with my teammate Megan Whitaker. And yeah, we're coming in to you guys today. Going to be talking some golf. Going to have a little fun, quirky question segment at the end here. But our text line is open, the Starter Heyman text line, 402-464-5685. So hit us up with any golf questions, and we'll get to those throughout the show. But first of all, let's start off. Megan is back this week. She was at the USAM up at Chambers Bay in Seattle last week, so she wasn't with us. But she is back and ready to talk about all of it. So what'd you think, Megan?
Yeah, it was an awesome experience just being able to go. We had a bunch of family come out and support, which was just awesome. My brother caddied for me, and he was on the show, 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
He caddied for me. Jeannie, our head coach, was out there in the practice round helping out. And then a bunch of my dad's parents, his parents and their family was all up there. So it was just super fun to have so much support. And it was a great course. So that was awesome.
Where was that at again? What course?
Chambers Bay.
Okay.
So they hosted the 2015 US Open there when Spieth won.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah.
What did you like most about the course layout? Did it fit your eye?
It did. I thought it was very much link style. There's only one tree on the entire course. So yeah, so it was like very much you really had to strategize well out there, because it was like you could see different shots, which I appreciated. Like you could kind of visualize everything because there's like nothing stopping you from hitting whatever shot you want, but you really had to pay attention to like where the pin was and what parts of the fairway to hit, because if you tried to be too aggressive with the slopes, you would just end up in bunkers everywhere.
Yeah, from the pictures I saw, it looked so slopey. Like,
yes,
just rolling hills everywhere. And I'm sure it was very firm in running.
It was fast, yeah.
Super fast.
Yeah, because I know that there was a couple times that some girls would, like, on par threes, I don't know if they were trying to miss them like left or if they just pulled them. It would hit the slope and go all the way across the green into the bunker.
Wow.
And so I was like, you think that you maybe could play like, oh, let's be cute and play the slopes. It's like, no, you still need to go at the pin, because the bigger the miss you have, the bigger, like, it just picks up speed.
Yeah, that's true.
Were
and
you
what
finding
about
yourself in the bunkers at all through that match?
No, I think I only found 2 fairway bunkers all week. No greenside bunkers, which was a big win because those were so hard to get spin out of. So
okay, yeah, wow. And what about the field? You played a lot of great golfers at that tournament.
Yeah, it was 156 girls that were solid.
All solid.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, all qualified to get there,
Yeah.
as you did in the qualifier back in June. So
yeah, I think the girl that won it was from Japan, and then I played with different Michigan girls. I mean, played with a Stanford girl in the practice round. So I mean, they were all very solid players.
Yeah. What was that like? Just kind of like your self-talk as you're going through that. I mean, how much of a mental grind was that for a few days with some of the best golfers out there right now in amateur golf? Yeah, just talk about that. What was going through your mind and how did you keep yourself in it?
Yeah, I think Jeannie helped a lot. And my brother helped a lot, just reminding myself that, like, yeah, we belong with those girls. I mean, these girls are very good, but so are we. I mean, I think it helped that I hit the ball well and I didn't get myself in trouble off the tee. But I think, I just was like, just try to give yourself looks, get yourself chances for birdie. And I think just being right there with them made me realize, okay, we can play with them.
Yeah. Your scorecard was very, very consistent.
Yes.
Like you kept it so even the whole time. So I'm sure that helped.
Yes. You could make a lot of big numbers out there if you miss the fairway, getting the fescue fairway bunkers. So I think like we made a very solid strategy, and then it's like, all right, time to execute.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, it's a tough course.
Yeah, that had to be kind of fun too with family and everyone out there. You don't
Yeah.
get that all the time in golf.
No,
You had
no.
your own little fan base following.
Yes, and I mean the Seattle had a bunch of people just come out and spectate, which was really cool.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think a lot of people were excited just because they had the U.S. Open there. That
Yeah.
is like, oh yeah, let's see how these girls do in comparison to
Yeah,
how Dustin Johnson and Jordan Spieth and all of them played.
that's awesome.
How
What
was
a-
the weather out there when you were golfing?
It was perfect.
I was gonna say, I feel
They
like a
were-
pretty nice week to have it.
Yeah, they were in a heat advisory, but I think it was like 84 for the highs. So
So you're like, this is great.
and
this
we
is fine.
came. I mean, I went there right after we had the stadium at Wilderness when it was 100 and like
108
8 every day. So I was like, this is heat advisory. I had a jacket on most of the round because I was like, this is not. I mean, this felt cold compared to what we
That's
were.
amazing.
Yeah,
Wow, what a great week.
yeah. How was your week?
It was good. I think I mentioned last time we were on the show, I was in my little break that I was taking from summer season before fall season starts here on Monday. And it was really, really good. I mentioned last time that I was kind of worried about being able to stay in the break and actually
Yeah,
keep myself in the break without starting to lose confidence and thinking, oh my gosh, I need to swing. I need to, keep practicing. So I did a pretty good job of that. I just filled it up with some family time and seeing some friends and stuff like that. And yeah, I came back. I think I took 7 days, which was probably the longest break I've taken in a few years.
wow.
I don't think I've allowed myself 7 days in
7
a very
days,
long
yeah.
time. But yeah, I came back and it was interesting. My swing felt better than when I
that's
began the
good.
break. So I was very worried about that too. Like, oh, am I gonna, I mean, it's weird that we think that, but like, oh, am I gonna lose it? Like,
Yeah.
where am I gonna pick up from my break? But yeah, I was very happy with that. And then a few days later, I went in for a lesson with my swing coach down in Kansas, and so we kind of got it going on the right track here before fall starts. So yeah, the past few weeks, I'm very happy with how they went. I'm proud of myself for staying committed
Sticking
to
to the
it.
break, yeah.
So I'm happy that I can say that. But yeah, it was a good few weeks. Much needed, I think, mental break too, just as we talked about last week,
Mhm.
just with everything starting. And yeah, we'll be going full force here on Monday with our college season for the Huskers. So it was a much needed mental break too, just taking a little bit of time away.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because I took a full week off too. I mean, I think I
Mhm.
ended playing Tuesday or Wednesday, and then I just touched a club.
Yeah.
Monday, Tuesday. So
it's needed.
Yeah. yeah, because our season will go until that first week in November, and we'll
Yep.
only have one day off at a time each week.
Each week.
So I mean, we'll go how many months? 3 straight months.
Yeah.
So
And a lot of times those days off don't really feel like full days off either,
Mm-mm.
because you still have class and
laundry
if you decide to work
and
out, yeah,
workouts,
they get packed up anyway with all your stuff coming back from a trip. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's probably a good thing you got that break too during the summer. Like,
Yeah.
because it's about to ramp up here. And
Yep.
that's 7 days off. Did it felt like you're shaking off rust, or did it just feel way better to take that 7 days off and just go?
I would say like the first few swings after a break, you're always kind of like, why does my body feel so weird swinging a golf club? It just almost feels like foreign for the
Yeah.
first few swings. But then, yeah, I just had a little range session after my warm up balls and everything. It felt kind of back in the groove and it felt okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
it was a good idea. I think it takes a little bit longer than you get in such a rhythm, in such a, like when you're playing a lot, you get in
Mhm.
such a rhythm with like your short game and your putting where it just kind of feels right.
It's natural,
It's just
yeah.
very natural. And so that I think takes a little bit when you come off a break. But yeah, I've been practicing the past few days and it feels like it's coming back okay.
Nice.
So yeah, excited for the season to start. We've had
Mhm.
girls coming in this week. We've helped some of the freshmen move in. And yeah, we'll be starting that Monday. So it's about
Monday.
to pick up really fast.
Mhm.
So practice starts Monday.
Yeah.
And then when's your first like actual tournament play?
September 10th, I think. We go to New Orleans.
Yes. Yeah. So we have a few weeks.
Yeah, you got a little
here.
bit of a build up. Yeah.
I think we'll have like one full week of just practice and
Mhm.
then start qualifying that next
So
weekend.
What's kind of the mindset right now as you're just kind of the team's just starting to come together? What's necessarily the goals through practice early on?
For me, especially since I'm just coming out of a break, it's to make sure that my fundamentals are really solid. I think after a break, it's nice because you can lose some of the bad muscle memory and go
Mm.
back to your old muscle memory. But sometimes that makes you go back to old habits. So
Yeah.
I think it's very important that like you're lined up correctly on the range, and your putting stroke, you make sure it's straight
Yeah.
back, straight through. Like
Yeah.
you just go through all those checkpoints, and I won't be too concerned about my score for
Yeah.
at least one more week at least, and then I'll start. Now we need to kind of ramp up into score mode the week and two before New Orleans.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. You just kind of start to go back to those fundamental drills, and like in my head right now, there's a few specific drills that I do when I'm focusing on fundamentals. So even this morning when I practiced, like I pulled out my meter stick to putt on, and like you said, making sure my putting stroke is straight, and you kind of you just go through all those little things that sometimes you just forget, or you're just not
don't have time for.
you just don't really have time to be thinking about them all the time when you're in play mode. But then when you kind of come off a break, or when you don't have a tournament for a little bit, you can kind of get back to those basics. I like the word you said, checkpoints. Like you're just making sure everything is good where we need it to be, and so I'll just be focusing on that for a little bit before we get back into playing mode with qualifying. So
And then how many golfers do we have coming in this year that are new?
3.
3 new golfers.
We'll have 3 freshmen, so
And are
that
they
puts
all
us at
here
9
yet, or are we still waiting on 1 or 2?
The freshmen are all in now.
Yeah, the last one got here today. We have 1 more girl to come. She'll be a junior, Mishka, and she'll come in next week. But other than that, everybody's here.
That's crazy. Yeah, I saw the sorority house rush thing was
Yes,
going on. And
yeah.
I was like, man, it's that time of year.
We were walking around on campus today, just kind of helping people move in, and it was busy. And we're
it's
like,
chaos
oh yeah,
every
school's
year.
back.
Yeah.
You got to be extra careful driving down the roads during rush week, because
People everywhere running everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's a crazy week, but
yeah. And then I do want to ask, especially for golf, because I feel like for other teams it might be more common talked about, like team chemistry. But for you guys, as team chemistry, do you think that's like really important to have as a team, or because it's such an individualized sport, you can kind of get by with just having acquaintances for teammates, essentially?
I think it is super important, even more important maybe than in other cases, just because we have both aspects of individual and team. So it's like, I don't know, I'm thinking about how everybody's score, you're trying to have it count for the team. And so at least how I think of it, it's really important to have that chemistry and know how, like, let's say Megan wants me to approach her whether she plays well, or how Megan wants me to approach her if she's not playing so well in a tournament. And both can be very different, and they can be different for all your teammates. So I think, building that like foundational level of relationship, and then going from there and just learning from each other, we've seen that it's super, super important.
Yeah, I think it's super important even in an individual sport. And typically in tournaments, I mean, in summer tournaments, you're just paired up with whomever. But in college tournaments, like if we are paired with like Iowa and Wisconsin, our number 1 plays with Iowa's number 1, plays with Wisconsin number 1, and then the number 2s fall in the number 3. So like you'll see each other out there. So I think it's just so important that we have a positive team culture, so that way in tournaments, like you said, we know how to approach each other. And I think like the closer we are, the more we want to practice hard for each other, and
and we
all
just
of
have
those
each
things.
other's back. Like, I don't know, you don't get down as much. Let's say if I have a bad round, I know that like my team's not gonna be mad at me. They all know what I'm going through,
Right.
and they've been there before. So it's like you can always just kind of pick each other up that way. And so that definitely helps with team culture, because everybody's going through the same thing,
absolutely.
But super important, I would say.
Yeah. And then I guess you just got done with your what was it, the USAM? So what's next for you? Is it just practice, or is there anything wedged in between?
Nope, I just have practice now. I just want to kind of make sure that everything is ready to go by the beginning of September, because I think we have 5 tournaments in the span of 8 weeks, maybe.
Yeah,
I mean,
it goes
it's
fast.
man.
It's
it
like
goes so fast.
So
we have-
will you guys have like any downtime
Nope.
throughout that period?
No, we'll be starting Monday. We'll go through start of November.
like
Oh,
November
man.
5th. Yeah.
And we're like we said, we have 1 day off a week for NCAA rules, but other than that, we'll be qualifying on the weekends or traveling, and it goes so fast.
And I think once you get in season mode, like we have a tournament. I think New Orleans is a Monday, Tuesday. We'll fly back Tuesday night. We leave Saturday we leave Friday for Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And that tournament's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So if your game, no matter how it feels in New Orleans, I don't know, you got to just play with what you've got.
Yeah.
Like if you don't like that you're slicing your driver, you're just going to play a slice. I mean, if you don't
really
like
does.
your putting, you're putting with what you have. So now is the time to focus on the fundamentals and make sure you can have everything as ready as you can, because the most time you're going to get for consistent practice is maybe 4 or 5 days in the season.
Yeah, and that's no time to be changing anything. Because then you're already thinking about, okay, what's this next course going to be like? What are the skills I need to have in place for this next course? So you're already shifting gears the day that you come back, pretty much looking ahead to the next tournament. The timing thing is actually so interesting, I think, like with our seasons.
Yeah.
Because it's like just the timing of, well, one, I feel like golfers just kind of ebb and flow anyway. You know, the timing of it, you're playing really well, you're striking everything well, but it can just be gone like that, it feels like. But it's so important to kind of hit that stride and be in your, you know, in your best mode as you're starting the season, because yeah, like we said, once you start with that first tournament, it just goes and there is no time to make changes or rethink anything. It's just you play with what you have and you make that work. So,
and I think it's interesting because all of the courses are so different. Where in other sports, you're playing the same court, you're playing the same. I mean, I guess football, right? You maybe change plays up when you play different teams, but for us, it's like you might be using different clubs in your bag or different shots. I mean, if we're going to Wisconsin, I would guess it's probably going to be windy there, so we're going to have a lot lower flighted shots. When we go down to Arizona, it's like it's going to be mostly shorter. I mean, we play shorter courses there, so we have a lot more wedges. In New Orleans, it's a lot of long irons. So it's like you really your game plan and strategy changes every single week for preparation.
And then I also want to ask, since you guys have done it a few times, you're talking about that short window that you got to get ready recovery wise. Like, what do you guys have to find yourself doing just to be able to still be there at 100% for that quick turnaround time?
I think it's for me, I try and get like my sleep schedule very normal once I get back. That is a really hard balance when your schoolwork is also piling up from a tournament because, I mean, unlike a lot of sports, we're gone 4 to 5 days at a time. You come back and you have all that schoolwork, and we don't have a lot of time on the road to do it either because we're usually playing 36 holes. So it's like we come back to the hotel, have dinner, have a team meeting, and try and get to bed as soon as possible because we do it again the next day. So it's a very fine balance, I feel like, between like getting your stuff done, and we'll always have a day off the day after we travel. So that day is usually used for laundry, schoolwork, sleep, and that's pretty much it. Eating well. But I would say that's the most important thing for me, is getting back on track with sleeping. Yeah, Megan, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the sleep, it's hard because flights can get delayed and we can get in at 2 a.m. and you have class at 8 a.m. So, I mean, the sleep is number one priority. And then as far as golf goes, I try to just do confidence building drills. So I feel like, what are you good at? And let's make sure we keep the strengths going, because I think it's hard sometimes when you play so many different styles of golf. You don't want to lose what you're good at before the next tournament.
That's true. That's a good point.
With that being said, though, we do got to go to break here. This is Big Red Birdies on 93.7 The Ticket. I'm here with Megan Whitaker, Lindsay Teeley, and I am Harrison Arns. We'll be right back after this.
There's not many things worse than having plumbing issues at your home or business, but it's even worse if the problem isn't fixed correctly. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time, and they specialize in several things: general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Warhorse Casino is bringing winning opportunities to Lincoln. Get in on the action at our next job fair, Saturday, August 20th from 10 to 2 at the Cornhusker Marriott, 333 South 13th Street. We are hiring trailblazers in every department: beverage servers, slot, custodial, security, and more. Every employee is treated like family, and every role is essential in creating a one-of-a-kind experience. For information on openings and job fairs, go to warhorsecasino.com.
Lincoln's first distillery is now bigger and better than ever before. Join Sideshow Spirits this Thursday, August 18th, as they celebrate their grand opening of their renovated space and distillery. Doors open at 2 p.m. with free tours, free cocktail and spirit samples, and free appetizers. The cocktail bar is open from 4 to 11 p.m. to celebrate. Check out their bottle and merchandise store, private tasting room, and event spaces. It's the Sideshow Spirits grand opening this Thursday at 16th and P.
Did you know that the U.S. has added over 1,100 new breweries in the last 18 months? Learn more by shopping at Myers Cork and Bottle, 13th and South, and by tuning in to Thirsty Thursdays with Kevin Myers, because sports are better with a drink in your hand and a friend at your side.
Hey, this is Ernest Hausman. As a linebacker from Nebraska, I know how important it is to have a strong defense and a great playbook. If you are looking for a solid team to have your back, check out my friends at Burke Brown Law. Burke and Jackson will work with you to create an individualized strategy to bolster your defense.
Hi, this is Burke. Give us a call at 402-606-1441. With locations in Lincoln and Columbus, we're ready to tackle your needs. Find us online at burkebrownlaw.com.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels and Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe. Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay. Playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Trendy or traditional, Gary Michaels Clothiers specializes in men's tailored clothing. Off the rack or custom made to measure, there is simply no better shopping experience. Offering designer furnishings, sportswear, shoes, outerwear, and accessories for a man always concerned at looking his best. With world-class tailoring and personal service, all makes Gary Michaels Clothiers Nebraska's premier store for men. Come visit us now at Village Gardens, south of 56th and Pine Lake Road in Lincoln.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Expect mostly sunny skies. Slightly warmer conditions will top out at around 88 with southwest winds at 10 to 15. We will see a chance of widely scattered thunderstorms this evening into tonight, a low of around 63. A continued chance of showers tomorrow, slightly cooler with a high of 83. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We stand on the shoulders of women who came before us.
Women who fought for their own financial futures.
And now it's our turn.
Join us. Visit WeSaySaveIt.org and take control of your financial future by saving for retirement.
A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Papa, why can't we telegraph while riding a horse? Son, there ain't no one to blame but Jeffro. He was riding old Betsy the Stallion, tip-tapping away at his telegraph when blam! Ran right into the side of the saloon. Well, if Jeffro can't do it, neither should you. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Back to Big Red Birdies with Lindsay Teal and Megan Whitaker on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Big Red Birdies. I'm Megan Whitaker here with Lindsay Teal, and it's time for our golf topic. You want to get us started?
Yeah, we're kind of going to continue on what we were talking about before, but like we said, we don't have a tournament now for a few weeks. I think September 10th will be our first Husker tournament. So, we're starting official practice here on Monday. So our topic's just going to be kind of talking about what our practice mindset is when we don't have a tournament for a little bit, and how that's different from when we're days away from a tournament. There are a lot of things I think that we just approach a little bit differently. Megan, if you want to start it off.
Yeah, I kind of touched on it a little bit in the last segment, but I think fundamentals are the most important thing. I also think working out is now is the perfect time, I would say, to work out, because it's okay if you're a little bit sore. I mean, we don't want to go to that first tournament and go super hard in the weight room on Friday when we have a practice round on Saturday and you can't even swing the club. So I think we start workouts next Tuesday, and that'll be really good. I think it'll help get our golf muscles activated and,
Yeah.
ready to go.
Yeah, that's something that we actually talk a lot about on the team, just how hard it is to keep a consistent workout schedule when we are in season. It's very frustrating sometimes
Yes.
because we'll start like now, we'll start off the season really well, working out very consistently 3 to 4 times a week. You're sore and it's fine because you don't have any tournaments coming
Right.
up. But then it's like you hit a tournament and you're gone for 5 days. And we're walking 36 holes a day, so it's not like we're gonna go lift after we're done.
No.
And then you need to be ready for the next day. So then it's like we go 5 days without working out, and we're flying and traveling, so we're exhausted. And then we get back home, and a lot of times it's like 2 days before we leave again. And so it's
yeah.
there's really just not a lot of time. So that's one of the most frustrating things for me when we're in season, is not being able to keep that consistent workout. But now is the perfect time to do that. We have a few weeks here where we'll be able to work out consistently and lift and everything. But
So as golfers, like what kind of workouts are you guys doing? Is it just like mainly core, or is it just like, 'cause I feel like for golfers, I don't know necessarily what workouts you guys are all trying to, I guess, really key in on.
Yeah, I think the key muscle groups are probably legs and core.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we'll still do bench press and triceps, biceps.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll still do upper body, but it's mostly legs and core.
Yeah.
And our strength coach does quite a bit of like circuit style workouts. So we'll kind of be on a clock where you have like pretty much 60 seconds, and however long it takes you to do the exercise, whatever's left of that 60 seconds, you have for rest.
Yeah.
Because I think his kind of goal, and it's similar to golf, is your heart rate. It's more of like an explosive sport. I mean, you start from nothing and then you just have peaks, and then you walk and then you have to hit again. It's less of like an endurance thing. So I think we kind of try to match that in the weight room.
Yeah. I would say a lot of our workouts, are heavily focused on legs, core, a lot of like rotational stuff
That
with
makes
weights.
sense.
Yeah. Like trunk rotation with like tossing or throwing
The
a
medicine ball.
against the wall, stuff like that. That kind of like replicate the swing a little
Yeah.
bit. And we'll also do some of that with like those cables. What are those called?
Like the TRX bands.
Yeah,
kind of.
TRX bands, and we'll do like slower rotations. So then it's working more the core. Yeah, we do
And some
quite a bit of
balance
that.
stuff.
Balance. Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about stretching too, because I feel like, especially if your like hips are really tight as a golfer, like you're just never gonna get that full swing because you won't be able
Oh,
to turn
yeah.
your hips smooth enough. Do you guys like really emphasize like heavy stretching too?
We do hip mobility. We actually put some more of that in this summer.
Okay.
So I think we'll be using that more this fall and winter. But that and a lot of like back stretches,
Yeah.
because our backs can get pretty tight if we're playing or swinging a lot. So yeah, I'm excited for these next few weeks when
Yeah.
we can kind of get really into our workouts and consistently do them without having to get interrupted and
Yeah. It
travel
almost,
and-
it feels like from the time our first tournament ends till the last tournament of the fall, we maybe go to the weight room 5 times, and
Yeah.
the people traveling, it's not much of a workout. It's more of stretching, core, because I mean, we're not maxing out on squats
No,
and
no,
those.
no.
I mean,
because
so
at that point it's like we're a few days away from
competing again.
so we're not going to go really hard and be sore. And we actually have a rule too that we can't lift on the same day we play 18 holes
That's
in
probably
practice.
a good rule.
Probably a good rule. Yeah, because you never want to be, if we're qualifying,
Especially
you don't
if your
want to be
back's tight
sore.
or something
Yeah.
too. You don't want to hurt that.
So with that too, it's like a lot of even what our practice consists of during the week is playing or qualifying. So anytime we qualify, anytime
play
we
18.
travel, anytime we play 18, that takes out lifting. So it's just hard to stay consistent. But we do get into a very consistent routine then once we're in the off season in the winter, which is always really good.
And that's probably the best time of year for us to build muscle.
Yes,
And
I would
make
agree.
actual gains in the fitness part. I mean, because
Yes.
even in the summer, I've done a pretty good job of trying to go at least 2 or 3 times or do my own workout, but that gets hard too, because it's
Oh, the
like,
tournament play you guys did too,
I mean,
yeah.
Same
because we
thing.
went straight from the Nebraska Am, and then 2 days later I was flying to Seattle. It's like there's not time to get
No.
a workout in
Mm-hmm.
then. So yeah, this next month will be nice.
Yeah, we'll have this next month and then winter.
Yeah.
But in between there, it's just whatever we can get.
You guys
But
ever have to hit the hotel workouts in the small, tiny weight rooms they provide?
I do not do
I
that
don't.
often. We're usually just so wiped out by the end of the day, and
That's true.
then we'll have our team dinner and team meetings. And I mean, by the time we get back to the hotel, it's usually 9:30, and then if you have any quick schoolwork to try and get done, you do that, and then we're up at the next morning
5:30.
5:30. So not a lot.
We've had a couple
that.
teammates, if they don't play well, or if they do play well, or they're stressed, they'll go run a mile to get some
Yeah.
Right.
steam
Yeah.
off. But I've never done that. Even if
I
I'm
also have not.
I'm just shower, go to bed.
Yeah, at that point, yeah.
Because there's actually a lot of times, I think this, especially in the spring season and end of fall, when you play 36 holes, you start at 8 in the morning because you can't start much earlier because of the daylight, but you'll only get 32 holes, 33 holes in because
it doesn't
you
go
literally,
quick.
you run out of time. And so then you're waking up super early because you have to play more than 18 holes the next day, and everyone has
finish.
flights to get back
man.
home. Otherwise, you count another day of travel, which
Yeah.
counts against your days of practice and off days. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah, you'll be wiped out.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah,
if
it's a grind.
sunny out, like you can just stand in the sun. If you stand there in the sun
Oh,
all
yeah.
day, you'll be wiped out.
Mhm.
Just
Yeah.
from being in it.
It just always seems to take longer too. Like I don't know. I think a lot of people think of it just like going out to play a round of golf if you have a tee time in the morning.
Right.
And then it's like, okay, you play half the day, but you have the rest of your day. But that just never seems to be the case at our tournaments. I mean, we're out there all day long.
from 6 till like 8. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, literally sunrise to
Mhm.
sundown. And then, you have your stuff to do after with meals and meetings and stuff. So
Yeah, and I think in college we do a lot of 3 and 4 sums because the tournaments try to pack as many good teams as they can in the field.
Mhm.
So I mean, if there was a tournament one time, there was 21 teams all on the course.
and it's
5
like,
girls.
man.
how do you fit all that out there?
So
it's
you're
gonna be
just
slow.
waiting, to hit shots because it's like there's over 100 people on this course for
Yeah.
18 holes.
So you have a lot of people have to play early the next day just to catch up.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I feel like that's almost like too much. I think
Mhm.
you have to cut
A
some
little
people off.
bit.
Yeah, 21 teams seems like
Yeah,
a
I
ton.
think like max of 15 it should
15
be.
is okay.
Mhm. And
Yeah.
even that's a tight squeeze because there's some tournaments where there's also individuals or
Mhm.
you might like we play Big Tens. We have a team of 6 and 4 scores count. Most of the year we have a team of 5 and 4 scores count. But when you have 6 on every team, that adds
That
up.
adds about 20
Yeah,
people in the field.
I'd really imagine. I'd hope they'd keep that down because that just seems really disadvantageous for whoever's got to play catch up that next day.
Yeah.
And they got to golf another day or a whole
Yeah.
18 again.
That is it's almost just worse from like a rhythm standpoint,
Mhm.
because at that point, if you've played 33 holes, like you just want to finish
Yeah.
and just finish your round and
Mhm.
not have to like
Think about
think
it.
about that round again the next
Yeah.
day, because then you just have to revisit it. It's like you kind of want to be able to put that round in the past, whether it was good or bad,
Mhm.
and just focus on your 18 holes left. So I will say I'm not a fan of that when we have to finish
Um,
like one hole, or sometimes
Well,
it's even a
sometimes
shot.
it's exactly. I mean,
Oh,
I've been
man.
stopped before
That's the
on the
word. I
green.
remember that.
We got stopped on the green, and I think I decided to putt because I said I don't want to dream about this 25 footer tomorrow
Yeah.
that could make this a 76 or a 75. I'm just gonna putt this
Yeah.
thing out and end my round. And it was almost. I mean, I could barely see, but
It was dark, but
but I've had a girl. She left herself in the bunker. I'm like, you're gonna
Oh
go to
my
bed
gosh.
all
Oh,
night
man.
thinking about this greenside bunker
one
shot.
bunker shot.
Like I would have at least hit the bunker shot and thought about the putt, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that's not the most ideal situation.
No.
So does that happen quite a bit, or is that rare that you're?
I feel like it happens quite a bit.
Probably over 50% of
Yeah.
the time.
I
Oh,
think so.
man.
We've just kind of gotten used to it now. It just takes a while.
Mhm.
I don't
And I
know.
mean, like every day now, there's less daylight.
Yeah.
And then in
Yeah.
the spring especially, you notice
There's
it
just not
because
much.
not
Eh.
until April and May.
Yeah. And I mean, they start us as early as they can. We're usually on the range when the sun's coming up, or
Mhm.
it's still
It's still dark.
and
Mhm.
they have lights out there. But so they do as much as they can, but there's just sometimes you
Mhm.
just can't get that many
Mhm.
girls through 36 holes.
And then you could have frost delays or rain delays or lightning
Yeah.
delays or
Yeah, but no, we
whatever else.
usually just grab our lunch at the turn of the 18 and
Yeah.
then take it. So we don't take a lunch break. We just
Yeah,
take
it's
it
just
and go to
continuous, yeah.
hole number 1 again. Let's do it again.
man.
So yeah, it is those tournaments. I would say we do most of the tournaments, especially early before we get to postseason, are 36-18, and I
Mhm.
think they do it just so we don't have to miss another day of school, which
Right.
is nice. So it's usually like a Sunday practice round and then a Monday 36 hole, Tuesday 18 holes, and then fly home. So I mean, the tournament and the trip goes super fast when you're just constantly doing something, but they are long days. And you
They
get
are.
home and yeah, we fly into Omaha usually, and we get back to Lincoln by midnight or later.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, wow, what just happened? That was a lot.
So are you guys the people? Do you try to knock out all your homework on the travel, or do you just
Oh.
cram it in a day that you have open?
Yeah.
I try and do as much as I can beforehand.
Yeah.
But sometimes that's not possible if like a lecture's not out yet and you just can't. I try and do that just to kind of ease it a little bit before I get back, because I really hate that day after
Oh, yeah, if
you
you got a
travel.
list of things
Oh
to
my
do.
gosh, that's the worst.
Well, yeah, and you have so much to take care of besides school. when
Yeah.
you come
Oh, it's
back.
everything. It's meeting with professors, and it's like make
Mhm.
sure you get your food, and then you have to do laundry because we're leaving again in a few days,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't-
the
what do you do?
school it's just a tough. That's
Yeah,
the
there's
toughest
no
part.
there is no right answer.
The best is the 18 tournaments because it's spanned over 3 days.
Yes.
So I mean it's unfortunate you miss another day of class, but you at least you'll tee off at 9, you're done at 2. We might stay and practice for an hour at the course, but you have a 2-hour break before dinner to shower and
To do some
study, and then
homework.
you have some time at night, and you're not up at 5 the next
Right.
morning.
Yeah.
So it's a little easier, but
Those are a
those
lot more
36
relaxed.
ones, I mean, you try to study on the plane, but
Oh.
it seems like every flight you get on, they don't have Wi-Fi, or I mean, it's just like,
There's some problem.
yeah, it's tough.
You just kind of fit it in wherever you can, but there's no right answer, I don't think.
Mhm.
But
Oh yeah, I always say that. Like, it always bothers me when people are like, student athletes got it easy. They're so spoon fed, and I'm like,
oh,
you got to just ask one student
Oh,
athlete
yeah.
their schedule.
ask
look
us about
at
our
it.
day. We'll
Yeah.
go over that in a few weeks once we get into our daily
Daily
schedules.
routine.
It is a grind. I mean, I don't think I'm the only one in saying this. You leave the house at 6 a.m. and there are most days I don't come home until
10.
10.
Mhm.
And I just don't even come home. I just pack my stuff
Yeah.
for the day, and it's literally filled up. It's not like
Mhm.
we're just sitting there either. I mean,
No.
there's just always something to do.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, and then the summer comes too. It's like you guys, if you want to be good at your sport, you just keep
We're
playing.
still
You gotta
playing.
Keep playing tournaments. There's
Yeah.
really not a lot of downtime.
no.
Yeah, and golf is just an interesting sport that, I mean, because I ran track in high school, you run 4 miles.
Mhm.
It takes 40 minutes
Yeah.
at the most. And then you're done. You stretch, you can lift, you can do whatever
Mhm,
else. Golf, you could practice 3-footers for 40 minutes, and then you could go hit balls for an hour, and then I could probably go fit in another 9. I should probably practice my wedges. I
Yeah.
should probably do my bunkers. You could be out there for 12 consecutive hours and still
Yeah.
feel like there's
There's
games.
stuff to do.
Yeah. And your body isn't as physically tired as it is
Mhm.
after like running 4 miles. Because when you could putt for 3 hours, and the only thing that's going to hurt is your back,
back,
after
probably.
a while.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah,
a different
it-
sport in that way.
It's different. And
Mhm.
I would say that's what makes us feel like we're so much more busy is,
Mhm.
I mean, just our normal daily schedule for practice and things, we have to plan out. It is planned out for us 4 to 5 hours,
Mhm.
just blocked off. You can't schedule class here. You can't, get your meals outside of this. This is our practice time, and driving to and from the course as well. So yeah, it does. Golf is just a sport that just takes time.
It does.
Yeah, absolutely. With that being said, though, we do got to throw it to another break. This is Big Red Birdies with Megan Whitaker and Lindsay Teely. We'll be back right after this.
Wow. Did you ever save me money on my car?
Yes, that's why our customers keep coming back.
How do you do it, friendly car dealer ?
We simply have low overhead and high trade-in values. The next line's yours.
Oh.
Ready for something better? Mullen Motors is a no-hassle, no-pressure dealership with financing available. Check out the inventory at MikeMullenMotors.com.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're
definitely coming back.
For sure. Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken lips. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
We're still as busy as we've ever been. Across the country, you may see a small slowdown, but in Lincoln, Nebraska, we're not slowing down.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
Our Southwest Lincoln development is just going great as we keep growing in Southwest Lincoln. Down the road, we'll have a new school, so that's exciting. We also have a new development out in East Lincoln over by Hillcrest Country Club. Just a real neat subdivision because it features trees, great views. If you're concerned about interest rates, many lenders in town offer extended lock periods. So it's worth contacting a lender and asking them about an extended lock. That's a big deal.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Allo means business. Allo means local business. Allo means big business. Allo means small business. No matter your business, if you need reliable phone and internet connectivity, you need Allo. Local service and same-day dispatch. Free installation. Symmetrical upload and download speeds. If your business relies on communication, rely on Allo. Allo means business. Visit allofiber.com/business.
I wanted to quit for so long, but I didn't know where to start.
I was afraid of what people would think, but then I found the right support to start my recovery journey. 1 in 14 Americans reports experiencing a substance use disorder, a treatable medical condition. Treatment can take many forms, so there are a variety of options to explore and find the one that works best for you. Recovery from drug addiction is possible.
Paid for by the CDC, sponsored by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey, this is Ernest Hausman. As a linebacker from Nebraska, I know how important it is to have a strong defense and a great playbook. If you are looking for a solid team to have your back, check out my friends at Burke Brown Law. Burke and Jackson will work with you to create an individualized strategy to bolster your defense.
Hi, this is Burke. Give us a call at 402-606-1441. With locations in Lincoln and Columbus, we're ready to tackle your needs. Find us online at burkebrownlaw.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on.
Expect mostly sunny skies. Slightly warmer conditions will top out at around 88 with southwest winds at 10 to 15. We will see a chance of widely scattered thunderstorms this evening into tonight, a low of around 63. A continued chance of showers tomorrow, slightly cooler with a high of 83. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
You look at those big tackles they have mammoth tackles. Neither of those guys are particularly nimble. Bryce Benhart is never going to be confused with Allen Iverson.
No, I don't think that he will. That's the first time in history and forever going forward that Allen Iverson will be in the same sentence as Bryce Benhart.
They better be able to mash.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning.
Get a lot of advice about self-care these days, but one of the most important self-care steps we can take is making sure we're financially secure later in life. For small steps you can take to save for retirement, visit WeSaySaveIt.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Back to Big Red Birdies with Lindsay Teal and Megan Whitaker on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Lindsay Teal here with Megan Whitaker on Big Red Birdies at 93.7 The Ticket. We're going to go to our quirky question of the day, but before that, we still have the Starter Heyman text line open. If you have any golf questions or even something about our quirky question, that's 402-464-5685. But let's just get right into it. We've got a few minutes here. Our quirky question for today, we're going to have a little debate going, and Harrison's going to join in too. What is our favorite seasons, like, of the year?
Mine has to be fall. Because I think the weather, I would say for Nebraska, fall. I think the trees are beautiful, changing colors. I think the golf courses are in their best shape. I think the weather is the nicest. Typically, knock on wood, there's less wind in the fall. Let's hope. This spring was terrible. So I'm hoping that's where I like it. I think Halloween's fun. I just think in football season,
Oh, yeah.
tailgates. I mean, I just think everything's so exciting in the fall.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I love fall. You get like I feel like college football's back, school's essentially back, big community. I just feel like
True.
fall's big community kind of season. Like
Yeah.
everyone's kind of getting back together
And everyone's
for school
excited.
and whatnot. Oh yeah, and then the weather, if it's good. Like
If
I
it's
feel like
good, yeah.
last year we had a really good fall,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and it was like a nice cool 70, almost like deep into early winter. But you could always
True.
get those falls where you get like snow early October, and then it's
Mhm.
just like
Yeah.
downhill from there.
Yeah. That is really hard to argue with because I do love all of those things and I love fall so much. But I think it is such a toss up for me, but I think I've always liked summer as my favorite, which I feel like is a pretty classic. But I don't know. I'm just a big outdoorsy person and I do a lot of, I mean, golfing obviously, but then just lake stuff and everything in the summer. I just also like hot weather. Like I just could never really live somewhere cold, like
Colder than Nebraska.
Yeah, colder
Yeah.
than Nebraska. I just don't think I could. I don't even like golfing in the heat.
It's better than
It's
golfing
just
in the
better.
cold.
Yeah, I don't know. You can just get warmed up so much easier. It just feels like you're in like this zone where it's just like you and the heat and the ball.
That's
and
fair.
I
That's
don't know.
fair.
I like prefer golfing in the heat. I don't mind it at all. I don't mind like sweating a ton and whatever in the heat. So I would say, yeah, all around probably summer. There's just so many fun things to do in the summer. Like
yeah, and you like your water sports.
I do,
So-
and like just ice cream and like every
Yeah,
just
that's fair.
Megan, yeah, you got to agree with that. I don't know.
Ice cream's good in the fall though too.
It is, but it's like, are you as excited to go get ice cream when it's like 50 degrees out after a game day, or like when it's 100 degrees out after a round of golf?
I'm always down for ice cream.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I will say
That's
there's. I mean,
true.
after a full day outside in the summer heat, there's nothing better than ice
No,
cream.
I know.
I agree with that.
And it's just fun. I don't know. You just, at least when we're like in season and everything, you get to go home, you get to see your family.
Mhm.
It just feels like schedules are a little bit more flexible and you just
Yes.
like get to do some things that you wouldn't normally get to do in a normal
Mhm.
school year, or if you're like taking trips, taking vacations. And then, yeah, I do just love the lake.
Yes.
So that
Well,
that
are you
is
fro-
my,
You're from Nebraska, right, or no?
yes, I am.
Okay.
Yep.
So that surprised me that you still like the heat then. Because I feel like,
Yeah,
like the
I-
humidity just always kills me. It wasn't too bad this year, I felt like, because we didn't get too much snow, so none of the crops
True.
really sweated that much. But
True.
that humidity always kills me every year. I just
I
can't
mean,
deal with
yeah,
it.
it does. And I like after the last 2 weeks when it was like over 100,
Uh-huh.
like by the end of that, I was like, okay, I'm ready for like not this
Mhm.
awful of weather. But like, I don't know.
But like this week,
Yeah, this
super
week's
nice.
gorgeous.
Oh, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. If summer, yeah. I don't mind it that much.
I mean, it's sure better than the cold.
It sure is better than the cold.
But I wonder if you lived in Arizona all year, if summer
I
would still
know.
be your favorite season.
Oh, probably not then.
Simba says on the text line, it's ice cream. I'm always looking forward to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is true. You can't pick and choose
Yeah,
when
and
ice
then
cream is the
we
best.
had one more unknown texter. We still got some time here. He asked, what are the best golf courses in Lincoln where you guys practice?
I would have to say Firethorn's my favorite.
I would agree. For
Um,
playing at least.
For playing,
Yeah.
it's I mean, it's a tough course. It makes you hit good shots, and it's always in really good shape. So
Yeah, I would agree. There's just, you're never going to be in the same spot at Firethorn. Like
Mm-mm.
there's just so many places you can be on that course. So much trouble you can get into.
yeah, you really can.
Like it's
really
just such
quickly.
a good test. And we
Mhm.
even see that with qualifying. Like scores are
A lot more
not
spread out
They're a
than-
lot more spread out. It's like you really have to play well and like prove yourself when you're playing Firethorn, which I really appreciate it for that. We also practice at Wilderness Ridge and they have a great course as well. Both courses are always in great shape. So
Yeah.
we're really lucky with the courses we get to play.
I
But
like Wilderness Ridge a little more because it's a little easier. Of
okay.
course.
Yeah.
Typically, our scores as a team there are a lot more compact.
Closer
yeah.
together.
We
Yeah.
don't see, unless we have crazy wind or crazy pin locations at Wilderness, you're not going to see many people in the 80s typically. I
No.
mean, 73 to 77 typically. Firethorn
You
girls
could be
will go
anywhere.
under par, but you can see some
Yeah.
80
Big
something,
numbers.
especially when you throw wind and firm greens out there.
Well, I feel like Firethorn, there's just a ton of different ways to play it too.
Mhm.
As
That
opposed
too.
to Wilderness Ridge. Like everyone, I feel like kind of plays it the same way.
It's
Yeah.
pretty straightforward.
Mhm. Yeah, so
Yep.
that's why they're probably closer. But Firethorn, like there's quite a few moves if you're feeling aggressive that you
Yes.
can catch up, or like you said, fall
Yes.
way behind,
Mhm.
and just like a matter of a round.
There are a lot more decisions to make when
Yeah.
you're, it's like a lot more mentally challenging to play Firethorn, I think.
Yeah, and I think it gets us, that course to me gets us more prepared for the courses we see in college.
Yes, I would
because I
agree.
think the green complexes are a lot more challenging, and there's different tiers of greens. Like 14, it's depending on the pin. I mean, you really have to be precise with your approach, which you see a lot in college, where Wilderness, typically middle of the green everywhere, you've got a pretty
You're
flat
okay.
30-footer. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
I would agree. Yeah.
Mhm.
And when it's playing firm and fast, it plays a lot like the courses that we play in college. So
Yeah, I did want to ask, kind of going back to weather, you were talking about how you would much rather play in the heat than the cold.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever have like a meet story where like the coldest meet you guys ever played in? I imagine it had to be Wisconsin. I'm guessing Wisconsin.
I think Big Ten's my freshman year.
Yeah.
There was a snowstorm the day before.
We actually played
And
in
you
the
still
sleet
played?
in the practice
Yes.
round. It was
I remember
sleeting.
we got to the hotel and we were just like watching the snow fall from the hotel.
At the baggage claim too.
And the airport, and we were like,
Do you think they were going to
It's
cancel?
ironic. We didn't know what was going to happen. I mean,
we figured they would cancel the practice round.
Yes.
Because they were literally getting snow. It's like, how does the course even drain
Yeah.
fast enough? But
Yeah.
they postponed it like 3 hours, and it was sleeting on us on the practice round, and
Yep.
it got better. The tournament days were warmer.
We're a little bit better.
I mean, it was 40s, 50s.
And rain, but I mean, it wasn't snow. But I have a video of our teammate Mishka. She has her umbrella because it's like this freezing rain / snow / like driving wind. And she just has her umbrella, and I'm just taking a video because this is just so crazy that we're playing a golf tournament and it's Big Tens, and we're in this
In Ohio, yeah.
And her umbrella just like flies out of her hand and just goes. And,
Oh, so you had high wind too.
high wind and snow, freezing rain, sleet, slush, and it's like we were out there just playing. So for that reason, I love my summers.
Yeah.
And I would take 110 degrees
Any
over
day.
that. Yes.
That was just the practice round though, right? You didn't have to
That was
play.
the practice round.
We've qualified in some really nasty weather.
Yes, we have.
Really?
Like borderline last year, 38 degrees, was it?
Yep.
We played?
We've gotten down to the 30s.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
We've-
there comes to a point where it's like our tournaments in a week and a half. We need to figure out who's going. There's no snow. It's pretty much we get to like February, and if there's no snow on the ground, we're playing.
Yep. I remember
I don't know if there's a temperature cutoff.
Your
but
freshman year, we were playing like a little tournament because we didn't have the fall season because of COVID. We played in October. It was so cold that we finished and the feels like was in the 20s.
Yes.
And I was just like, I just got like immune to the weather. I was like, I'm actually fine. It's all mental for me at this point. I can't put on any more layers. Otherwise, I physically couldn't swing. I mean, I can
Yeah.
pretty much only fit 3 layers
It's about
on
3.
and 2 layers of pants, and that's it.
So this
There's-
might be a weird question. How do you deal with the hands? Because
That's the worst part.
Yeah, you can't work.
We have big mittens that we stuff hand warmers in.
And we also have electric hand warmers that we can put in the
Okay.
mittens. So that helps. Your hands kind of go numb
I was gonna say.
at a certain point. That is the worst because I mean you're still picking up your ball, you're picking up your tee. I try and just walk with mine like on my stomach when I'm walking, just trying to do anything. It's awful. But yeah, I don't know. The layers thing is really interesting though because yeah, you can only have 2 or 3. But all right, well, thanks a bunch, you guys, for having us on today. This is Lindsay Teal and Megan Whitaker here on Big Red Birdies at 93.7 The Ticket. We'll see you next week.